Any of the tech workers still unemployed from the mass layoffs, have y'all been getting feelers sent out by recruiters yet? Suddenly, I have a lot of recruiters in my inbox for contract work, 6 months to 1 year at a time, but they are all hiring for a ridiculously low hourly rate. So, jobs that I used to go on where I would be making $50 to $70 an hour are now hiring for $25 to $30 an hour, which is about the same amount that I make doing retail management work, except with my retail manager's job, I at least get benefits. The whole reason for a high hourly is that you are charging for the benefits that you do not get as a salaried employee, including things like job security, your 401k, and your health insurance. We are undergoing a major salary reset for the tech industry at the very least, if not across the board. They are trying to get white collar workers as close to the minimum wage as possible. Never once did I ever think my tech job, my cushy tech job, would be the equivalent of working retail. Never. And now I'm sitting here with interviews from the big five that offer the same amount as my retail job, but I mean less, honestly, because I don't get health insurance, I don't get benefits, and I don't get paid time off. My retail job is more competitive than the tech jobs I'm going out for. And I have 10 years of experience in high level content strategy and algorithm work. This is wild. Never in all my years would I think that that specialized work would be competitive or on par with my retail job.
I think that people are misunderstanding exactly the value that they used to bring. And whereas you can consider yourself a tech worker just because you had content strategy and things like that, that is not really a value add to an organization. And so when people are ranking themselves or they're trying to figure out why they are getting certain job offers, it's because it's not for the jobs that these companies need anymore. They don't need your algorithm work and they don't need your content strategy. They have AI for that. And so instead of repurposing in the same way that developers learn a new development language, or when you're talking about cloud infrastructure or AI machine learning and prompting, instead of pivoting, they keep doing the same thing over and over and thinking that they're going to get different results. That's not how it's worked. That's not how it's ever worked. You have to adjust. You have to move into a different understanding of what your job is supposed to be. I'll give you an example. When I was first coming up, right, and when I graduated high school in 2000, yep, I'm 43 years old, the biggest thing was developers, right? And so developers actually made way more than anything design related. And justifiably so, because everything was still basic right there. And they didn't focus on user experience as far as what your experience as a user was. And so they kind of had developers playing both roles and they were creating bad applications, but they were functional. And so what happened was, me as a developer myself, a software engineer, but I was more focused on the design aspect of it because that's where my passion lied. Because I thought that I was going to be a mechanical engineer, and then before that, an architect. However, I have a passion for giving the best user experience. Anyways, fast forward through the 2000s, 2008, 2010, there was a huge emphasis, especially with Apple blowing up, and the iPhone and everything going mobile, on user experience. So designers or front end designers actually became more in demand because they wanted, UA, UI, UX, UI, user experience and user interface designers to make sure that they were giving customers the best experience in addition to whatever was being developed on the back end. So you had to continue to nurture your skills. You had to learn how to build prototypes. You had to do all of these things that allowed for you to be able to fill the gaps and the needs for whatever was being designed and developed in the tech industry at that particular time. My point is that as technology moves forward and progresses, as development and design languages change, as the needs change for the customer, and as the tech workers are needed, You have to pivot for the roles that you think that you deserve, and you have to continue to add to your skill set. You can't still think or believe that you are valuable just because you used to be a tech worker. You have to adjust to the times and pivot so that you can then become valuable and you can make the money, because the gap between the haves and the have-nots, or the gaps between what these workers need versus what you think you provide, and they can find a whole lot of use. That's where your market is. They're going to charge you based off of what's available, not necessarily based off of what you value yourself as.
Never. And I don't have disrespect for
Or just stay in retail.
retail. It's just, I just didn't think it'd be that way.
I have three predictions for corporate America in 2026 beyond just the fact that the layoffs are going to continue, because they are. So if you're thinking about staying in corporate or getting into corporate in 2026, hear me out before you do that. The first one is the middle manager purge is going to continue. The corporate ladder is officially broken, right? So if you're looking to work your way through entry level positions to manager positions, it's not going to happen. Companies figured out how they can save money. They put the flatter organizations, but this middle management purge is going to continue. So that's going to take your career ladder. So if you're okay just in the entry level and making money as a transaction, stay with what you are. Number two is RTO is the new compliance, or RTO compliance is the new performance review. I wholeheartedly believe this, that if you play their games, they may keep you around a little bit longer because you're a good soldier. Has nothing to do anymore with quality of performance and the value that you actually add to the organization. Because
It never had anything to do with the value you added to the organization. It was always about, and that's where people are missing. They think their skill set was the thing that kept them with a job, but the thing that kept you with the job was whether or not you actually was a cultural fit and if you learn how to network effectively. But we'll get to that in a second.
RTOs are a perfect example of this, because there's no way that they'll force everybody to come back to the office and the folks that don't come lose their job. They have no idea if they're good employees, bad employees, they don't care. They just want to take the head count out. So like I said, the RTO compliance is now going to be your new performance review. And last but not least is you're not going to be replaced by AI, but you're going to be drowned out with AI. I guarantee you now what's going to happen is these organizations are going to think, well, with AI, one employee now can do the job of three employees. So whatever you're doing now, think about doing it 3 times more with the assistance of AI. So I think, one, you're going to stop seeing hiring, but two,
You'll never stop seeing hiring. Valuable people and valuable employees that continue to diversify their skill set and understand AI are going to be invaluable.
to see organizations pile more and more work on individuals because they think with AI they can be that much more effective. It's 3 to 1.
Most organizations haven't even adapted nor have they adjusted to being able to use AI effectively. That's just the honest to God truth. The people that are actually using AI the most effectively are the biggest tech companies and individual entrepreneurs that are implementing it into their businesses and trying to figure out how to implement it into their businesses. It's not the regular companies, it's not the manufacturing companies, it's not any of that right now. That's not happening, right? They're not really embracing it. It's still being felt out as much as you really believe that it is. Yes, it is being integrated and scaled up from different organizations, from whatever, right? They may have some kind of cloud infrastructure or Outlook or something like that that integrates AI into it, and so employees may be learning it and integrating it on their own, but it is not being something that's hired for or mandated from a lot of organizations, especially when it comes to prompt engineering.
Ratio is it 4 to 1, 2 to 1? I don't know, but I wholeheartedly believe that's the path that we're heading down here for 2026. And the system isn't broken. So I know I used to say corporate's broken, and I do say that, but this is the exact way they designed it. They were pushing for the profitability over people, and they're getting it, right? I mean, the short-term returns are absolutely there. That's why these CEOs are cashing out with their benefit pay. Anyway, whole separate topic. But if you're done playing this game, you have options. You're closer to being a solo business owner than you actually believe you are, because
I think that's the wave, right? The people that are actually suited to be business owners or independent business owners are going to be the ones that prosper in the community and in the economy. going forward, especially next year. But I digress. We'll dig into that in the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. And make sure you subscribe. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace.